bread floating through the air. Bus stop crowded with the early workers, carrying dreams and daily cares. Street musician tuning up an old guitar outside a pawn shop door. Whole town waking from another long night, ready to try once more. Life don't always hand you roses. Sometimes it barely gives a clue. But every morning keeps on asking what you're gonna do. Avenue of second chances, stretching underneath the sky. Saxophone singing like a preacher, telling me to try. Avenue of second chances, golden on the avenue. Funny how the road gets brighter when you walk it through. Single mother dropping kids off at the schoolyard, then heading to a second job. Old mechanic opening up his garage like he's done since he was young. I remember blaming every wrong turn for the things I couldn't be. Now I know each broken mile helped build the woman in me. Led me somewhere I should go. Every heartbreak left a lesson I didn't know I know. Maybe grace ain't imperfection. Maybe grace is standing tall. After all the storms and setbacks, still answering the call. Avenue of second chances, shining in the morning rain. Whole town moving like a river, washing off the pain. Avenue of second chances, last shadows fading slow. For a couple beautiful moments, there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. the sunrise. Fresh bread floating through the air. Bus stop crowded with the early workers, carrying dreams and daily cares. Street musician tuning up an old guitar outside a pawn shop door. Whole town waking from another long night, ready to try once more. Life don't always hand you roses, sometimes it barely gives a clue. But every morning keeps on asking, what you gonna do? Avenue of second chances stretching underneath the sky. A saxophone singing like a preacher, telling me to try. Avenue of second chances, golden on the avenue. Funny how the road gets brighter when you walk it through. Corner bakery opening before the sunrise. Fresh bread floating through the air. Bus stop crowded with the early workers, carrying dreams and daily cares. Street musician tuning up an old guitar outside a pawn shop door. Whole town waking from another long night, ready to try once more. Life don't always hand you roses, sometimes it barely gives a clue. But every morning keeps on asking, what you gonna do? Avenue of second chances stretching underneath. Plate special on the handwritten chalkboard, $3.99 and coffee free. Waitress calling everybody honey, like we're one big family. Raincoat hanging by the front door handle, steam rising from the grill. Whole room wrapped in little conversations that somehow make time stand still. Some nights ain't about the spotlight or the dreams you never call. Sometimes it's about surviving with the little things you got. Blue plate salvation on a rainy Tennessee night. Saxophone floating through the kitchen doorway. Everything feels alright. Blue plate salvation, coffee warming up my hands. Funny how a simple kindness can help you understand. Truck driver laughing at the weather forecast, saying they never get it right. Nurse from the hospital finally sitting down after another long, hard night. I remember searching for big answers in every city, every town. Now I find them in these little places when the world slows down. Some are meant to sit beside you through the hardest times. Baby Grace looks like a diner with a flickering neon light, and a stranger saying take care before heading into the night. Blue plate salvation, golden reflections on the floor, whole room humming like a choir without asking for more. Blue plate salvation, last cup cooling by my side for a couple quiet moments. Life feels dignified. Calling everybody honey, like we're one big family. Raincoat hanging by the front door handle, steam rising from the grill. Whole room wrapped in little conversations that somehow make time stand still. Some nights ain't about the spotlight, or the dreams you never caught. Sometimes it's about surviving with the little things you've got. Blue plate salvation on a rainy Tennessee night, saxophone floating through the kitchen doorway. Everything feels alright. Blue plate salvation, coffee warming up my hands. Funny how simple kindness can help you understand. Blue plate special on the handwritten chalkboard, $3.99 and coffee free. Waitress calling everybody honey, like we're one Machine beside the gas station, buzzing underneath the stars. Teenagers leaning on their old Chevrolets, talking dreams and old guitars. Street light glowing on the empty blacktop, crickets singing in the heat. Whole town breathing slow and easy, moving to a different beat. Funny how the simple evenings stay with you the longest time. Long after the neon fades away, they're still on your mind. Jericho Boulevard, golden underneath the moon, saxophone drifting from the pool hall, playing an old familiar tune. Hey, Jericho Boulevard, summer hanging in the air. Funny how a little hometown magic still finds you everywhere. Waitress from the diner getting off work, laughing with the night shift crew. Old mechanic wiping down his toolbox like he always used to do. I remember dreaming about California and the bright lights far away. Now I know the sweetest memories were right here anyway. Dream ain't meant to roam. Sometimes what you're searching for has always been at home. Maybe joy ain't loud and flashy, maybe joy arrives real small, like hearing your favorite song through a screen door down the hall. Jericho Boulevard, shining through the midnight haze. Hometown moving like a jukebox, playing back the golden days. Jericho Boulevard, last headlights rolling by for a couple sweet summer moments. Nobody asks why. traffic's neon glow. Night clerk reading yesterday's newspaper, watching the slow traffic roll. Coffee brewing in the office lobby, keys hanging on a wooden board. Somewhere down the road a freight train calling like a distant chord. Every town has quiet stories that never make the evening news, but they're written in the faces of the people passing through. Firefly motel sign glowing through the Tennessee night, saxophone drifting from a roadside tavern, soft beneath the light. Firefly motel sign shining on the rain-washed road. Funny how the smallest places carry the heaviest souls. Traveling salesman eating pie at midnight, calling home from a payphone line. Young waitress saving up for college, working overtime. I remember running hard towards somewhere, always looking far ahead. Now I stop and watch the fireflies dancing instead. After the rain, firefly motel sign golden through the midnight haze. Whole world moving just a little slower than it did in younger days. Firefly motel sign, fading low for a couple sweet blue moments. There ain't nowhere else to go. Blossoms hanging by the sidewalk after 1 a.m. in June. Barroom doors still swinging in the warm breeze underneath the silver moon. Cook outside the diner taking 5 minutes, leaning on a rusted rail. Somewhere down the block a sax is calling, telling an old tale. Nighttime paints the world in colors that the daylight never sees, turning tired old avenues into memories. Magnolia after midnight, blooming sweet beneath the rain. Saxophone floating through the darkness like a runaway train. Magnolia after midnight, soft as whiskey, strong as steel. Funny how the smallest moments can teach your heart to heal. Young bartender saving up for Nashville, writing songs between the rush. Old blues woman sitting by the window, watching headlights pass and blush. I remember thinking life was somewhere far beyond this little town. Now I know the richest stories happen when the sun goes down. Every dream that took its own sweet time, every road that wandered wide, every loss became a teacher walking by my side. Maybe grace arrives unnoticed, like a song through an open door. Maybe life gets sweeter when you stop asking for more. Magnolia after midnight, golden reflections on the street. Whole town moving slow and easy, swaying with the beat. Magnolia after midnight, last call drifting through the air for a couple precious moments. Not a single soul is scared. Not a single soul is scared. parking lot blinking, half past midnight drizzling rain. Food trucks serving coffee to the night shift, everybody looking tired the same. Custodian loading buckets in a pickup, whistling Marvin through the cold. Somewhere down the avenue a saxophone turns the darkness into gold. Funny how the world gets quieter when the traffic starts to fade. You can hear your own heart talking in the silence it made. Neon church parking lot, shining through the Tennessee rain. Saxophone floating like a prayer, trying to heal the pain. Neon church parking lot, blue lights dancing on the chrome. Funny how a patch of asphalt can start feeling like home. Nursing scrubs buying coffee for the drive back, eyes heavy from a double shift. Young mechanic wiping grease from his hands now, watching cigarette smoke drift. I remember chasing brighter skylines, thinking peace was somewhere else. Now I find it in these little moments that money couldn't help. Is just surviving without needing a cause. Maybe hope ain't loud and flashing, maybe hope arrives real slow, like a warm light in the distance when you thought you wouldn't know. Neon church parking lot, golden reflections on the ground, whole night humming like a choir without making a sound. Neon church parking lot, last headlights rolling by. For a couple peaceful moments, everything feels alright. past midnight at the corner dime, coffee brewing strong and black, waitress writing orders with a red pen, never missing a beat or a track. Taxi driver reading yesterday's headlines, waiting on another fare. Street light reflections on the wet pavement, turning ordinary into rare. Funny how the night keeps moving, even when your heart stands still. Funny how the smallest moments can change your will. Quarter past midnight, and the city ain't asleep. Saxophone floating through the shadows where old memories keep. Quarter past midnight, blue lights dancing in the rain. Funny how a tired old dreamer still gets up again. Young girl studying by the window table, trying hard to change her life. Old trucker smiling at a family picture, kept folded by his side. I remember chasing every bright horizon, thinking happiness ran fast. Now I know it hides in little moments that are never built to last. Every door that wouldn't open wide, every lesson learned the hard way still became a guide. Maybe strength ain't being fearless, maybe strength is carrying on. When the world keeps getting heavier and you still sing your song. Quarter past midnight, golden reflections on the floor, whole room moving like a heartbeat, wanting just a little more. Quarter past midnight, last cup of coffee almost gone. For a couple quiet moments, everything feels strong. Morning paper blowing down an empty factory, parking lot cracked by time. Coffee truck parked beside the railroad crossing, serving workers standing in line. Old radio singing Sam and Dave softly through a speaker worn and thin. Whole town carrying steel town memories like they're built into the skin. Every street got 1,000 stories, every brick remembers names. Even when the signs all change, the soul remains. Rust Belt Radio, playing through the static and rain. Saxophone floating like a memory, riding an old freight train. Rust Belt Radio, shining through the factory glow. Funny how the strongest hearts are the ones nobody knows. Bus driver waving at the crossing guard like they've done for 20 years. Night shift welder finally heading home now, with grease and sweat and tears. I remember chasing shiny destinations, thinking bigger meant better somehow. Now I know the richest songs are hidden in the lives we're living now. Every soul that kept on showing up never once decided to quit. Maybe hope wears work boots, maybe faith drives an old Ford truck, maybe strength is waking up tomorrow and trying your love. Rust Belt Radio, golden in the evening haze. Whole town humming like a choir from the glory days. Rust Belt Radio, still playing loud and strong for a couple sweet blue moments. Everybody sings along. Laundromat glowing by the county highway, just past 1 o'clock tonight. Rolls of dryer spinning like old memories under fluorescent light. Woman folding denim by the window, singing softly to herself. Outside pickup trucks and neon signs, keeping company with the dark. Funny how the simple places hold the stories nobody tells, like the quiet heart still beating behind worn out shells. Tennessee laundromat moon shining through the glass tonight. Saxophone drifting from a distant barroom, mixing with the light. Tennessee laundromat moon, silver on the tile floor. Funny how these ordinary moments feel like something more. Single dad counting quarters by the vending machine, kids asleep inside the car. Night shift waitress reading country magazines, dreaming underneath the stars. I remember chasing every bright horizon, trying hard to prove my worth. Now I find a little peace and freedom in the small things on this earth. Reflections on the floor, whole room humming like a choir without asking for more. Tennessee laundromat moon, let's dry a turning slow for a couple precious moments. There ain't nowhere else to go. Laundromat glowing by the county highway, laundromat glowing by the county highway, just past 1 o'clock tonight. Rolls of dryer spinning like old memories under fluorescent light. nobody tells, like the quiet heart still beating behind worn out shells. Tennessee laundromat moon shining through the glass tonight. Saxophone drifting from a distant bar room, mixing with the light. Tennessee laundromat moon, silver on the tile floor. Funny how these ordinary moments feel like something more. Single day counting quarters by the vending machine. Kids asleep inside the car. Night shift waitress reading country magazines, dreaming underneath the stars. I remember chasing every bright horizon, trying hard to prove my worth. Now I find a little peace and freedom in the small things on this earth. Funny how the simple places hold the stories nobody tells, like the quiet heart still beating behind worn out shells. Tennessee laundromat moon shining through the glass tonight. Saxophone drifting from a distant. Yellow taxi waiting by the corner diner, meter running slow and low. Driver sipping coffee from a paper cup, listen to an old radio show. Neon reflections sliding down the windshield, painting colors through the rain. Whole city humming like a tired orchestra, playing one more refrain. Every window holds a story, every light belongs to someone's dream. Everybody headed somewhere, or somewhere in between. Travel so far. Nurse just finished working 12 long hours, heading home before the dawn. Street musician packing up his old guitar, still smiling as he moves along. I remember racing after every spotlight, thinking that's where joy would be. Now I find it in these little snapshots the city gives for free. lights across the street, whole town moving like a heartbeat, swaying with the beat. Yeah, yellow taxi serenade, last ride drifting through the night, for a couple sweet blue moments, everything feels